Hello Otters, hope you're all okay. Next chapter of Gangster Granny, but we'll quickly recap. If you remember that Ben was with Gran, they were in her living room going through all the jewels that she'd stolen in the past, and all of a sudden there was a knock at the door, and it was the nosy neighbour, Mr. Parker, who was also the neighbourhood watch. He'd been peering through his binoculars and noticed all these jewels on Granny's floor, so he came round to inspect what was going on. So Ben panicked, opened the door. Gran was in the living room and closed the living room door, so he couldn't see anything. Anyway, he insisted he wanted to come in and edged his way through and opened the living room door. And Granny, if you remember, she was there pretending to do her yoga and she had her underwear on. They got out of it. They managed to hide the jewels behind the sofa in the tin, but Mr. Parker still reckons there's something going on. So let's find out what's going to happen next. It's chapter 15 and it's called Reckless and Thrilling. Okay. When Granny had put her clothes back on, she and Ben sat down on the sofa. Granny, before Mr. Parker turned up, you were telling me there was one jewel that you'd never stole, Ben whispered. There is something quite special that every great thief in the world would love to get their hands on, but it's impossible. It just can't be done. I bet you could do it, Granny. You're the greatest thief in the world has ever known. Thank you, Ben. Perhaps I am, or rather was, and stealing these particular jewels might be every great thief's dream, but it would just be, well, impossible. Jewels, there's more than one? Yes, my dear, the last time anyone tried to steal them was 300 years ago. Captain Blood, I believe, and I'm not sure the Queen would be pleased. She chuckled. You don't mean the crown jewels? Yes, my boy. Ben had learned about the crown jewels in a history lesson at school. History was one of these few subjects he liked, mainly because of all the gory punishments they used to have in the olden days. Hanged, drawn and quartered was his absolute favourite, but he also liked the breaking wheel, being burnt at the stake, and of course a red-hot poker up the bum. Who doesn't? At school, Ben had learned that the crown jewels were in fact a set of crowns, swords, sceptres, rings, bracelets and orbs, some of which were nearly 1,000 years old. They were used when the new king or queen were crowned, and since 1303. This year, not the time. They had been kept under lock and key in the Tower of London. Ben had begged his parents to take him to see them, but they had moaned that London was too far away, even though it was just up the road really. To be honest, they never really went anywhere as a family. When he was young, Ben used to listen in silent wonder to his classmates as they recounted their myriad adventures, show and tell, trips to the seaside, visits to the museum, every holiday abroad. The knot in his stomach would tighten when his turn came. He was too embarrassed to admit that all he had done during the holidays was eat microwavable meals and watch TV, as he would make up stories about flying kites and climbing trees and exploring castles. But now he had the greatest show and tell of all. His granny was an international jewel thief, a gangster. Except if he showed or told this, the old dear would be put in prison and the key thrown away. Ben realised that this was a big chance to do something crazy and reckless and thrilling. I can help you, said Ben in a cool and calm manner, though his heart was beating faster than ever. Help me do what? Replied the old lady. Steal the crown jewels, of course, said Ben. Du, du, du. Will they or won't they? We will find out in chapter 16 next time, children. Hope you enjoyed that. So, don't forget home, keep reading. Bye.